You're gonna forcibly. Everybody's forced to take a loan, but and we'll give you a break on paying interest on it, but you're still paying that interest.
This is going to ruin loads of little independent businesses, surely.
Yeah, but that business, when it comes back around, which is a very cynical way of looking at it, will be
if it comes
absorbed
back
by
around,
the
I think
it's gotta be.
Depending on how long this goes on for, you know what I mean? If we go into months, there's a lot of businesses that are just going to fold. A lot of industries. I'd be surprised if cinemas kept going. You know what I mean?
They're on the way anyway because of Netflix and all
that's
those
what
things.
I mean.
They want to watch, aren't they?
You'd be surprised if there's any cinemas. Left after it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, George.
But things will obviously move on. But everybody will find a way. There'll be new stuff come out of it. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. In a couple of weeks when everybody's been locked up at home and all you've got is the internet. People are going to be starting posting videos of all sorts of mad shit they're getting up to at home and that. And there's going to be some funny shit coming about.
I think there's going to be a lot of garden photos.
But imagine if you swung it and went dark with it, and you said that after 3 or 4 months, whatever, due to limited resources, that they're going to limit internet activity. So then they start locking. Do you know what I mean?
We don't know.
We're in
their hands, aren't we? We're in their hands. We almost touched on it a little bit. Like in the last podcast where we said about the bins on the street. And
if everybody unites.
You know what I mean? And that's what's happening now because people are staying home. There's a load of people out at the weekends and that, but moral sort of judgment from the public is now in a situation like wearing your seatbelt or being on the phone in your car, innit? It's that fucking looked down on by the general public that you just can't do it now. I almost fucking wore a pair of gloves to come here because I thought, fucking what if someone sees me and I'm not wearing gloves and they're like, look at that cunt. No, you don't care about everybody.
Meanwhile, we're brothers and we spend a lot of the time together in our houses and it's like how can we, that's another great area.
I've been in China twice since fucking Christmas. Do you know what I mean? I'm alright. I'm not saying that obviously I'll pass it on to other people, but I don't see anybody.
Well, that's what the scary thing is though with this, when we talked earlier about the scale of numbers, 600 people today, whatever, that sounds fucking awful, whatever you were saying, and if you can pull out stats from other things like...
Well, look at Thailand's roads, mate.
How many
get to New Year's, did something like, don't quote me, something like 1,700 deaths in the first week at New Year. That's people drink driving, just getting, everyone just being off work and that, just nuts every year. They have 30,000 plus deaths on the roads every year. You can pull them numbers
if you shine a light on a certain statistic. But what I was going to say is you hear that number, whatever it may be, fill in the blank, 600 people have died of corona since whenever, a week. That sounds awful, but you can pull up stats and you can say, well, this many people have died of cancer and they do every day, or this many people get bitten by a snake or whatever it is. And for a while I thought, this is a bit crazy because this is what's happening. But then the thing about a virus is if it does spread, it's exponential, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when you're measuring those numbers, really...
Who's vulnerable.
Yeah, because these numbers can multiply, they're going to stay pretty rigid, aren't they? The amount of people that get attacked by a shark is pretty consistent. Cancer, they say that's a consistent number, which is weird.
It's not, is it? Because 10, 15 years ago, it was, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 people get it. Nowadays, it's 1 in 2.
Is it really?
With all that research and all them,
What? 1 in 2?
Yeah, 1 in 2.
So about two of us,
at this table.
Count me out.
We'll probably... Where we go, there's one lot, so we're already fucking... See what I mean?
I just want to say for anybody who's watching this video, if there is anybody...
That's just blowing my mind.
This is all personal.
I'm pressing buttons on this keyboard.
Not personal at all.
To switch these cameras, so if I look like I'm on another planet just fucking drifting about pressing buttons, that's what I'm doing. Because we haven't got our ATEM switcher yet, because apparently there's an issue with postage.
You talk about the exponential growth
Still
of
them
this.
flyers.
Delivering flyers for farm foods instead.
Well, they're essential, don't forget.
You speak about the exponential growth of this thing, though, which is obviously very valid. But it seems to be, like you said earlier, it's only targeting really the elderly
there's
and
been
people with weakened
cases.
immune systems. There has been, not to say that it's just purely targeting them, but it seems to be that those people are most at risk.
Yeah, of people who didn't have anything, young, fit, healthy people who've got it, and they've died as well. But at the same time, this is all happening really, really fucking fast, isn't it? There's a lot of heightened emotions. Do we know that person didn't have something that wasn't known about. So, I mean, I'm not saying, like, we sound like at the minute that we're trying to, like, condemn all this and, like, not agreeing with it. Obviously, it's real and it's
questioning
happening.
What's
questioning
happening.
At the end of the day, this is impacting the world on a scale that's never been fucking seen before.
It's horrendous. There are a lot of people dying, and there's a lot of people affected by it. You know, but I still think there's
still questions.
There's a lot of ignorance.
We shouldn't just blindly just fucking suck up everything that's been said to us, because at the end of the day, everyone around this table knows that we've been lied to before.
I was about to say that the trust with the government these days is probably
and it's
because of the internet information.
As well, you know, people are posting stuff like Boris is a fucking hero and that, and he's just the man who's up there, isn't he? Anyone who's up there would be doing the same thing, wouldn't they? So,
I think now at this time, there's a lot of. It's good that people are asking questions though, but at the same time, it just shows, like you said there, the power of those broadcasts, the television, the tabloids, the media as a whole.
Well, I've lived through similar things.
They are delivering a message that we're fucking like, we're literally paralysed by. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you said earlier, everybody from the last podcast, if everybody said fuck your bins, if you could get everybody in that street to do that, that would be a miracle.
But if that street did it, the next street would do it, and so would the next street. And next street, and
exactly.
You know
but all you got to do is like put the telly on and watch the thing, and like, what is that power? It's just
I've
so embedded in us, isn't it?
On a different scale. When I lived in Thailand twice. Once when when I had all them riots. Remember when it was all riots in Bangkok?
Yellow shirts and red shirts.
Yeah, and all the military was.
What was that to do with? Who was who?
That was the political party. That was you remember Taksin? He owned Man City, didn't he? Basically, he was the.
Just mind the table because it picks up the.
Taksin was taxing people.
Yeah, basically. I'm not going to go into all the details, but he was a wrong and he got extradited from Thailand. He was on the run. He came here. He bought Man City. And then his sister became Prime Minister, and there was a lot of corruption and all that. And then basically, the opposition had got into power, and long story short, but basically there was political unrest and fighting and riots and all that, and it was all over Sky News, it was all over the world, and the army was brought in to calm it all down and that. But like the hysteria, like I'd see news reports on the TV and that, and then obviously people contacting me. You're all right now, what's going on? And I'm just fucking, everything's just totally normal for me. It's the media, the news, presenting everything that but in that situation, it is
so powerful. It's such a powerful thing. I mean, how do you think then?
But the second one was when there was a coup and the military actually took over. They took over and they locked up all the
curfew times. Well, they had curfew in place, didn't you?
Yeah, that was when they put a curfew on everything and that. And TV, there was no TV channels. You turned on any TV and it was government, branded and that, and it was all government. And he was explaining what was going on and how they're going to change everything.
That's proper.
Oh God, yeah.
Proper
everyone got locked up. All them in Parliament. All them, in the party, they got locked up, man. Do you know what I mean? And then the military, they've been in power ever since. That's who their Prime Minister is now. He's been in power ever since. But I was there then. And again, similar situation. We were in lockdown, there was curfew and that, but, things sort of carried on. But what I got from it was the sense of community, which you're seeing now as well here. People start coming together and helping each other out and that. And, when it finally does come to an end, the atmosphere is buzzing because you've all sort of been
united. They said in New York for a couple of years after 9/11, this New York was just together.
Yeah, you are
people connected and
you say that, but why is everybody still buying toilet paper? Come on,
I don't know.
We're not coming together in that respect, are we?
About 2 weeks before this happened,
travelled about 10 miles of a poop.
Pack I did, and I was just
I was sat at the table last night eating my dinner. I had my headphones in, I heard the door like open up and George came running in. I was like, what are you doing up here? It was about 8 o'clock at night. He was like, I've come to get some bog roll.
I've been to 3 places, literally about 10 miles.
You've got loads, mate. I haven't been panicked buying a haul.
Are you one of them bull bars?
No, I was in Pound Stretch or whatever, and over till they just had these massive ones. I thought I'd better get one of them and this was weeks before that happened, and I'm on my own, so
you preconceived it. You were.
Well, I'm just prepared.
I had to use a newspaper.
I've watched a lot of doomsday preppers.
Times are tougher though.
Yeah,
been locked down.
Yeah, those people with the bunkers. Yeah,
the bunkers all stocked up with rice and pasta and that.
You damn right, boy.
Loads of ammo.
Woo!